Clay, a former Special Forces operative in a secret U.S. government group called the Beekeepers, is trying to leave his past behind. After years of dealing with classified, high-risk missions, he's done with the shadows and just wants a quiet life. Now he's living in a small garage he rents from Mrs. Parker, a sweet retired school teacher who's involved in charity work helping women and children in need. She's glad to have Clay around because he's polite, low-key, and keeps to himself. One evening after work, Mrs. Parker invites him to dinner. As she works on her laptop, a sudden alert pops up on the screen. Virus detected. It warns her that her hard drive is infected and suggests she call a number to avoid permanent damage or data loss. Without a second thought, Mrs. Parker dials the number, hoping to fix things quickly. But what she doesn't know is that the number isn't an antivirus company, it's the headquarters of a criminal gang. They specialize in phishing scams, posing as tech support. As soon as she makes the call, a team of hackers takes over her computer remotely. They start digging through her files, tracking her financial transactions, and all the while, Clay has no idea his quiet life is about to get shattered. Meanwhile, Mrs. Parker, completely confused by her computer acting up, goes to the manager, Garnett, for help. He reassures her that it's just part of their virus removal process and that there's nothing to worry about. As an apology for the glitches, Garnett offers her compensation, asking for her bank account details. Without a second thought, Mrs. Parker shares the info, expecting a small refund. To her shock, she gets a whopping $50,000 transferred into her account. But then Garnett drops the bomb. He was only authorized to send $500. He asks her to return the extra money. Thinking it's all a mistake, Mrs. Parker quickly logs into her bank account to send the money back. As she types in her password, the screen flashes, and just like that, her entire balance vanishes, gone in an instant. Garnett and his team had hacked her account, draining not just her savings, but also the charity funds she manages. Stunned and unable to process the loss, Mrs. Parker is left reeling. Meanwhile, Clay's busy harvesting honey, filling a jar to give Mrs. He grabs a knife from the kitchen, just in case, sensing danger in the air. Clay stepped into the living room and froze. Mrs. Parker was lying lifeless on the floor, a pistol beside her. But before he could process what he was seeing, an FBI agent burst in, her gun aimed squarely at him. Agent Verona wasn't wasting any time. She believed Clay was involved in her mother's death. Verona quickly called the local police, who stormed in and started their investigation. Clay was hauled off to the station for questioning. Grief-stricken but determined, Verona stayed on the case, convinced there was more to her mother's death than met the eye. As the investigation unfolded, Verona uncovered something shocking. Her mother had been scammed by a notorious criminal syndicate. They had wiped out her savings and even drained the charity's funds she had worked so hard to manage. With this new evidence, it became clear Mrs. Parker's death wasn't a murder. The police, now with a clearer picture, let Clay go. The next day, Clay returned home, only to be met by Verona. She apologized for wrongly accusing him of Mrs. Parker's death. As they talked, she revealed the shocking truth. Her mother had been swindled by a criminal syndicate posing as an antivirus company. They had stolen her bank funds, and the organization was on the run from the FBI, managing to stay one step ahead of the law. Clay wasted no time. He contacted the Beekeepers and ordered them to find the syndicate. They dug in and soon uncovered UDG, the fake antivirus company run by a man named Garnett. Clay got to work immediately. Armed with the information, Clay headed straight to UDG's headquarters with 2 jerry cans of gasoline. He knocked out the guards and stormed the control room. There he confronted the employees, took down one of them, and demanded they never target innocent people like Mrs. Parker again. After sending them running, Clay drenched the room in gasoline. As Garnett and his men arrived, Clay was ready. He quickly took them out, rigged a bomb to go off when his phone rang, and gave Garnett one last warning: run or die. Moments later, the phone rang. A massive explosion rocked the building, reducing it to rubble. Back at UDG's headquarters, Garnett called his boss, Danforth, in a panic. He explained that a man identifying himself as the Beekeeper had infiltrated the building, wiped out the security, and destroyed everything. Danforth's orders were clear: hire mercenaries and end Clay's life. Meanwhile, Verona, hearing about the explosion, couldn't help but smile. The next day, Garnett and his crew tracked Clay to his bee farm. As Clay left, they destroyed the hives and followed him, but it didn't take long for Clay to realize he was being pursued. When he got home, Garnett and his thugs attacked, but Clay was ready. With brutal precision, he fought back, taking down the thugs one by one. He spared Garnett, but not before slicing off his fingers as a warning. While this was happening, Verona was interrogating a UDG employee when she received the news that her mother's house was on fire. Rushing over, she found Clay's garage reduced to ashes. Among the wreckage, she discovered a UDG ID card on one of the bodies. That was the moment Verona realized Clay was connected to everything happening with UDG. Garnett, licking his wounds, called Danforth to report the botched job and his lost fingers. Danforth's rage boiled over as he started questioning who Clay really was. As they spoke, Clay made his move, suddenly appearing out of nowhere and attacking Garnett while he was still on the phone. Clay tied Garnett's body to the front of his car and floored it, dragging him straight into the water. Danforth overheard everything. Clay grabbed Garnett's phone and calmly told Danforth, "I'm coming for you next." Meanwhile, Verona and Matt hit a dead end while digging through government databases for Clay's info. She realized that Clay had likely undergone secret government training, and not even the FBI knew who he was. Shortly after that, Verona got the news that Garnett, a high-ranking UDG member, was found drowned, tied to Clay's truck. Meanwhile, Danforth, now in charge, met with Wallace, the former CIA head, who managed his... Wallace heard about Danforth's link to someone called the Beekeeper. He acted fast. He called up CIA Director Janet to ask about Clay. Janet told him Clay had retired from the Beekeepers. Without hesitation, Wallace ordered Janet to eliminate him. She contacted the Beekeepers and sent their top assassin, Anna, to take Clay down. At a quiet gas station, Clay was filling up when Anna ambushed him. But Clay was ready. He fought back, overpowering Anna and cutting off her fingers before setting her on fire. The explosion rocked the gas station, sending flames shooting up. With the attack stopped, the Beekeepers told the CIA they were backing off, staying neutral in the battle with Clay. Wallace wasn't about to let it end like this. He called in a team of special forces, telling them about the Beekeepers and portraying Clay as a rogue agent, a threat to innocent lives. The mission was clear: eliminate Clay, no matter the cost. The next day, Verona and Matt arrived at the scorched remains of the gas station and found Anna's body unrecognizable. It hit hard. Anna wasn't just any victim. She was part of a covert government group. But why was she hunting Clay? Verona had no idea. Meanwhile, Clay had other plans. He used Anna's severed finger to break into her apartment, hacking her computer. With a few clicks, he tracked Garnett's phone signal straight to Danforth's location at the 9 Points building. Armed with this intel, Clay grabbed weapons and explosives from Anna's place and took off. Back at the 9 Points building, Wallace's special forces were already on the ground, ready to take down Clay. Outside, the FBI SWAT team had set up, fully expecting Clay to make his move. But instead of evacuating the building, Wallace's forces let the employees continue working like everything was normal. Little did they know, the NSU company occupying the building was tied to a criminal syndicate running phishing scams. Then Clay showed up. The SWAT team was blindsided. Before they could even react, Clay launched a brutal attack, taking them out effortlessly. With the SWAT team neutralized, he slipped inside the building, blending in with the NSU employees. But one of Wallace's men recognized him. The attack was on. Wallace's special forces rushed in, but Clay was too fast. One by one, he took them down, moving like a shadow until none were left standing. Then he found Rico, one of NSU's top executives. Clay didn't waste time. He forced Rico to spill the beans about the company's boss. At first, Rico resisted, but the pressure was too much. He cracked and revealed that the owner was untouchable, above the law. Clay wasn't impressed. "No one's beyond my reach," he warned, vowing to tear down anyone who threatened innocent lives. Terrified, Rico gave up the name. Just then, Verona and her team stormed in, guns drawn, targeting Clay. He bolted, slipping past them in a heart-stopping escape. Later, Verona and Matt put it all together. The owner of both NSU and UDG, both companies deep in phishing scams, was none other than Danforth, the son of the President of the United States. The companies fell under Danforth Enterprises, a major player with ties to the government. Verona realized Clay wasn't just after Danforth. He might go after the president herself, Jessica, Danforth's mother. Deputy Director Prigg wasted no time. He ordered Verona and Matt to find Clay, while the SWAT team doubled down on security for the president and her family. The next day, Verona and her partner teamed up with Secret Service agents to protect the president and her son at a charity event hosted at their beachfront mansion. The area was locked down tight, with Secret Service and FBI agents on high alert. But despite all the security, Wallace couldn't shake his worry about Danforth's safety. He hired a group of mercenaries led by Lazarus, a man who claimed to have taken down a beekeeper before at the cost of his own leg. Meanwhile, Clay was already inside the Danforth estate, slipping through a drainage channel and hiding under a truck to avoid detection. He took out a SWAT team member, rigged the cars with bombs, and slipped into the mansion unnoticed, blending in with the guests. As things heated up, Prigg met with the president and presented the damning evidence, including Danforth's shady software deals and his network of front companies used for phishing scams. When Jessica learned their campaign funds came from dirty money, her rage was instant. At the same time as Verona realized Clay was still inside, she ordered the SWAT team to move in. Surrounded and with guns aimed at him, Clay dropped to his knees, playing right into their hands. But that was just part of the plan. With a quick press of a button, he detonated the Secret Service trucks, creating the perfect diversion. As chaos erupted, Clay took down anyone in his path, charging straight into the mansion to face Danforth. Inside, Jessica, heartbroken by her son's actions, knew it was time to expose him. She decided to reveal Danforth's crimes to Clay and the world, hoping for a sliver of mercy. Meanwhile, Clay tore through the mansion, injuring Secret Service agents, but showing no mercy to Wallace's mercenaries. Clay pushed forward, making his way down the hallway toward the president's office. A brutal showdown with Lazarus ended with Clay victorious, and he moved on. But just as he reached the office, Wallace stepped in, trying to talk him out of killing Danforth. Clay didn't listen. With a swift move, he snapped Wallace's fingers and forced his way into the office. Inside, Danforth, realizing his mother was about to expose him, snapped. He grabbed a pistol and in a desperate act, shot Prig dead. In the midst of all, Clay set the explosive on the door, ready to breach. With a deafening blast, the door blew open, and Clay rushed in, Verona and the rest of the FBI agents right behind him. But Danforth wasn't ready to go down without a fight. Panicked, he grabbed his mother, Jessica, and held her hostage. Verona shouted, trying to talk Clay down. She begged him not to hurt Jessica or her son. But Danforth, frantically looking for a way out, considered using his mother as leverage to escape. In the heat of the moment, Clay shot a sharp look at Verona. "Are you here to enforce the law or seek justice?" he asked, weighing the situation. Seeing Danforth's twisted plan, Clay didn't hesitate. He pulled the trigger, taking Danforth down with one clean shot. Without wasting another second, Clay bolted through a window, escaping into the night. Verona had a clear shot, but she didn't take it. She let Clay go, choosing to seek justice for her mother and the victims over sticking to the letter of the law. As the dust settled, Clay was already gone. He had planned his exit with scuba gear hidden on the beach and vanished into the horizon. So the moral of the story is, don't trust any tech support that asks for your bank details. And if you're ever in a dangerous situation, it's always good to have a secret exit plan and maybe a scuba kit.